Hey, you guys. Hey, it is your buddy Peter. It's Wednesday, the 25th of August at around 6:30 in the evening, and I just got done putting the finishing touches on episode 308, my conversation with Scott Mellinger from the band Zao. Didn't know diddly about Scott or the band up until about 2 or 3 days before I recorded this episode, and I did a deep dive into their newest record, and I dig it. I've probably listened to it about 10 times since this episode. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. And he sat down, talked to me via Zoom for about an hour, and just a super nice guy. He's got his hand in a couple of other bands. I put links in the show notes, and he's interesting as hell, and a musician's musician. And he was pretty eager to answer just about anything. He's done a lot of podcasts. If you like this one, just throw his name in whatever podcast provider that you use, and he's going to come up with a bunch of other podcast episodes. But I can pretty much guarantee he didn't answer questions like I asked on Scotch and Good Conversation. Here's an example of some of the stuff that I asked him. We did a round of what would Scott do for money, and for about $600,000, he'd do just about anything. There's only 2 or 3 things that he wouldn't do. We cover the origins of my dog's Rosie's name. And she wasn't supposed to be originally named Rosie. We talk about that. And I know I've talked about that a little bit on the podcast before, but if you haven't heard this story, she has an interesting background. We talked about his first kiss. We talked about what he would do with a magical bottle of the tears of 1,000 orphans. He came up with a pretty good idea, but it's not what I would do. I don't know what you would do if you came across a magical bottle of the tears of 1,000 orphans, but we cover that. And we cover the pros and cons of reusable toilet paper. So it gets a little weird, like we do here. And we cover music and his life and some other stuff. There's a Dynamite new album. You can grab it online at zaoonline.net. That's their website. Grab it. And then do a deep dive into their old stuff if you don't know it, because I think you're going to really dig it. It's not even my scene. I mean, truthfully, I'm not really that into. I think it's metal. I don't know. It's loud. It's aggressive. I kind of dig it, and I'm glad I talked to him. He's a super nice cat. Next week on episode 309, artist Chris Sherry. If you know the band's Descendants, of course you do. You know the band's Descendants. You're cool. Or the band All. You know his artwork. He's the guy who does a lot of the covers for a lot of the Descendants albums, and I think all the records. And he's worked with bands like 7 Seconds, Teenage Bottle Rocket, a bunch of punk rock bands. He's been in an episode of Bob's Burgers. He is a art teacher, and he's interesting as hell. He's had his hand in a lot of important music that you probably know. And I talked to him for about an hour. So that's next week on episode 309. So you got that to look forward to. What else I got going on? You want something free? I say this every week, and I've been starting to get some emails. I'm going to send some packages out relatively soon. Email me over at scotchandgoodconversation@gmail.com and leave your name and number, and I will send you some stuff, some stickers, some buttons, just some stuff I have laying around Rosieland. It's free. It's my way of saying thank you for listening to the podcast. If you'd like to do me a favor, first of all, use my sponsors. If you go into any of my sponsors, whether you've been there a million times or it's your first time going, please do me a favor. Tell them that you heard about them on Scotch and Good Conversation, because this way they know that they're using their money wisely by advertising with me. And also go over to patreon.com/Scotch and Good Conversation. If you feel so inclined, leave me $1 or $2 and I can keep the lights on in Rosie Land. You guys try to keep these things short, but I want to let you know what's going on in the world of Scotch and Good Conversation, what you guys have to look forward to. Thank you so much for being part of my life. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there. All right, peace. Scotch and Good Conversation. I am your host. My name is Peter. Scott,
Yo,
My new friend. How are you, sir? You doing all right?
I am doing great.
I don't know if you've had a chance to check out the show, take a listen, do your homework, but these are three things that I know about you. First thing I know about you is your band has a sold out show scheduled for September of this year. How does that feel? That's got to feel really, really nice.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna stay humble and level. It's probably because nobody has seen shows for like a year and a half, so everybody's excited to just get to any show.
Yeah. No,
But
you guys are a
I'm really
thing.
happy.
You're a thing. I'm sure people are glad to go to your show. I mean, it must feel nice to know that some of those people who are going to that show will be their first show back. No pressure.
Yeah, I'm so excited to play, so I'll just focus on that. I'll forget about the fact that it might be their first show back.
Tell the kids about the band and what you do in case somebody is tuning in and have no idea who you are.
Cool. Yeah. So I play guitar in a band called Zayo. That's super aggressive metal band. We have been doing it for since I've been in it since 1999. The band's been a thing since like 94. So yeah, we've been doing it for that long. I'm old, but that's okay. We are actually, so it's almost the universe aligning how the shows have come back. I mean, obviously with everything going on with the last year and a half, I think everybody's optimistic that we're going to be on an upward with this COVID thing. But I mean, we have the Delta variant, so there's things that can happen, but it seems like everything's going to be okay. And one of the first shows back that we're going to have is this really big, cool festival that we played earlier in our career in like 2001, 2002. That was just an amazing time and a bunch of amazing friends. So we get to do this big festival, but we also are doing like 5 shows from Pennsylvania, where we are all from, down to Alabama, where the festival is. The one show that you're talking about that's sold out is the pre-party show for the festival. So it's going to be super exciting.
I told you while we were doing our pre-show chat, I got to come up with a name for these things. I was told you, I drove home. I went to visit my mom over the weekend, and my mom lives in this little redneck town just over the border. 95, probably like the back of your hand.
Oh yeah.
You know where south of the border is on 95, that horrible tourist. It's not even a tour. It's like a hotel thing. Everybody in the band knows south of the border.
Oh yeah.
My mom and brother live in this little town, literally 20 miles north of that, the first town in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
I drove home from Lumberton yesterday, and I listened to you on a couple podcasts. If you guys are listening to this and you want to hear more of this gentleman, he's done more podcasts than I have. But anyway, when I got done listening to the new podcast, I listened to your brand new record, and man, it is good. It hit me in all the places that The Cure hits me, that Pink Floyd hits me, that Nine Inch Nails hits me. First of all, let's talk about you first. How's your hearing? Like, I'm concerned about your ears. My wife is in the medical industry, and she makes me wear earplugs when I go to shows now. How is your hearing? Because you're right up there in the thick of it, and you've been doing it way longer every night on tour. Can you hear me? Do I need to make sign language?
I'm probably not far off. The weird thing is, so I try to wear earplugs as much as I can, but there's a long time prior to me being at least aware of it that I didn't wear it. So I do have a constant ringing.
Oh, that's no good.
So I kind of have tinnitus. Yeah, but it's not overbearing that there's no pain. It's always in the quiet times at night I can hear it.
Yeah.
But I'm able to hear still pretty well. It's funny. So where we do our records, we do it. There's this really awesome studio in Pittsburgh called the Church Recording Studio. And the owner, Dana, has been doing music his whole life. I mean, he was like a tour manager for Government Mule, Rusted Root out of Pittsburgh. I mean, he's done things. He was a live sound guy for a long time. He did sound for Grateful Dead, all this awesome stuff. And when we record our records, we actually did a live thing. We record live sometimes. So the amps are blaring and all that stuff. So he actually told me that we're quieter than most rock bands he's ever done. So like for as aggressive as we are,
you're not aggressive enough.
Yeah. Like my guitar amp isn't turned up like way crazy. And like the drums are hit hard enough. And like even though Dan, our singer, is super violent sounding, like he's not super loud. So the hearing has been okay, but it's, no matter what, like once you get to a certain decibel level, like all concerts are pretty much over that level. So you've got to be careful.
The other thing is I'm concerned about your vocalist. My wife, when I got done, when I came home last night, from North Carolina to drive, I kissed her and I pet my dog on the head and I said, I've been listening to this all morning. And she said something to the extent of, that's not healthy. That's what, I mean, she's a speech language pathologist. So she knows, does he have a vocal coach? Is he hydrating? I want to make sure he has longevity in his career. Are you sponsored by Cough Drops or something? Is he making good decisions?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So the only, So he stays hydrated. He has like a little herbal tea, honey kind of mix that he does all the time. There's a cough drop that he found that's like specific for people that yell. It's really weird. I can't remember the name of it, but he has that. And
I feel like you guys look for an endorsement from that company.
We tried.
Okay.
They didn't care, but he has. I don't know. He's never taken formal lessons, but there is a girl. I can't remember her name. I think it's Melissa something, maybe. But I might be wrong. That is a vocal coach for people that specifically scream, and she gives you the right way to like, because you obviously you don't want to do it from here. You do it from your throat. Like even singing, you're done. Like you're going to lose your voice within a song. So everything has to come from the diaphragm, which Dan has been able to work on and do his whole career. So like he basically sounds like it makes no sense to me because it sounds like it comes from here, but it's all from here. And he's able to stand pretty well and keep a pretty good, strong vocal like performance for a pretty long time. But yeah, so for all I know, he's doing it right, but who knows? Maybe when he's 60, he'll sound like Mickey Rourke or something.
The new record, there's these beautiful melodic background vocals in some songs, and is that something you have? Again, I haven't dug too deep into your catalog. Is that something you've done before, and does that take a lot of work for you guys to sit there and harmonize? Like I in my head, you guys in the studio is going, how are we going to do this? We've never done this before.
Well, so we have had, like, I do all the clean singing on the records. Mm-hmm. So we kind of have tried, and it's really hard to do because it's like you want to put them in there in a way that they don't. So I like when I do them, I kind of look at them as like another instrument instead of like a singing part. So we try really hard to make sure they're not like a cliche, because I know a lot of bands in our genre will do a song where like you make the chorus sing because that's what people remember, and then like then you've kind of opened your band up to a different audience and blah blah blah. So we've never really done that because we don't want to get any less aggressive.
Audience? Yeah,
no. we don't want to have money. Like, what do we need that
more
for?
listeners?
So,
no.
Yeah, no. So we do it in a way that like we kind of use it as like more of a layer to just give some difference, So, but this one, I think we really hit it. Like I like how we did it on this record. Is like the last two records, I really, really like how we've incorporated it.
What's a typical show like? Like, what are the children in the audience? Are they all wearing black? Or they got the Jenkos on? If I come to a show, am I going to be bounced around? What's the age range? Because if you come to Orlando, I'm coming. So I just want to know what to expect.
Okay, so if you come up, like at one point in our career, Jenkos were present. Yes.
Okay, good. I like to think they're not present anywhere.
Yeah, they were present, and I unfortunately did wear them myself.
Yeah. I wear parachute pants at one point in my life, so it is what it is.
So, oh, by the way, back to what you said, like being the feeling of that you got, like that we were somewhat similar to The Cure and Nine Inch Nails. That's like the most amazing compliment I've ever gotten, I think, in the band, because that's amazing. That like
it shows you where the reference points
too.
led off. Also, like that's where I stopped,
which is great, because I'm not that far from those reference points. Like I love all that stuff. So, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of movement and a lot of crowd participation. But like you said, now it seems like most people are wearing, it's the tighter black jeans, the black shirts. But we also have like a lot of like of our fan base is kind of like in our age bracket. It's like I'm 42. So a lot of those guys are like, they're standing in the back, but they're wearing just whatever, like dad the shorts. Normal dad clothes. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll fit in. I'll be okay. So
we have like, it's awesome. Like you have like some young kids and like that whole thing. And then you have all these older guys and we kind of mix with both of them, I guess.
I'm going to guess mostly dudes, right? Mostly dudes.
Mostly. I mean, it's impressive to me that there have been an influx of female fans. But mostly guys. Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm okay with that. Any plans on like a full-fledged tour? I mean, I know no one knows what's going on, but is it in the works? Because that's my job. I need to ask for people who are interested. And I am. Like if you're coming to Orlando, I'm going to go.
Oh yeah, that would, and make sure to get a hold of me and we'll just get you in. But so with our career, we did used to do like 6-7 months out of the year. Now with all of us being a little older with kids, it's a little harder to do that. But I think we've kind of eased ourselves back into the whole touring world. And I think 2022 is probably going to be a little bit closer to like maybe doing
realistically
like more. Yeah.
Where can we find the record? Where's their website? You got a MySpace or something? Where can the kids gather up new music from you?
So basically we do everything in-house. So we own our own label. We release our own things. And so our Bandcamp page is probably our best area to go to buy stuff. Zayo official, or Zayo, is it Zayo official on there too? I don't know. Everything's Zayo official anymore, but so we did our Bandcamp. You can find everything. We're pretty, active on our socials. So like Instagram and our Facebook page, I think both are pretty much where most of our whole thing. Twitter, that's a beast that we can't get into.
I'm not good.
Like I just don't
I'm not good
give
at Twitter.
A shit. Like, you have to like post every couple hours, and I know who wants to listen to somebody. Who cares about what I think?
What I have to say isn't that important for the most part.
It's not, and I don't even have anything to say. So who cares?
If you're interested in any of this, and I think you should be, the show notes will have links to everything. Just go to scotchandgoodconversation.com and everything will be linked up, and buy the new record. It is dynamite. Second thing I know about you, and this alludes to music also. You played your first acoustic live set in November of last year. Really seriously, you never played like a party or try to impress a girl or something? Like you, no. I'm assuming you own an acoustic guitar. Like, so you've never done that. And I know from research, like your grandfather played acoustic guitar and you've never played out loud. What brought you to this point in your career that you went, I'm going to play an acoustic set for somebody? And was that terrifying also?
Well, it was different. Not necessarily, maybe a little bit of nerves for sure. But so when I started playing, like I've played acoustic, in front of friends and like family and that kind of stuff. But I've never actually, I've never performed at like a legitimate, like ticketed concert with an acoustic guitar. So all I've done pretty much is just this aggressive stuff. So it's never really been like I've never had a chance to have an acoustic guitar play at a show. So, but I do a band with a few friends, one of which is Josh Feeler from the Juliana Theory. That's a lot more.
No slacker.
Like,
yeah.
like a lot more laid back. We have a female front we're a female fronted band. So our singer Kelly, we can act like it's a little less aggressive, obviously. So we were able to do this really cool acoustic show, especially like this is like during like the COVID sort of stuff. So we were able to, it was like a small outdoor thing, and we played for like an hour, but it was the first time I've ever actually played a concert with an acoustic guitar. It was really cool, and I want to do it more. It definitely
you
was
can be one of
fun.
those coffee house dudes, kind of, you get a beret.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. What's the name of the other project?
It's called Pack, Pack. And we have released music. There's like friends label called Mind Over Matter that's put some stuff out for us. And we do have an EP, a 10-inch EP that'll be coming out within the next few months. So that's, maybe we've released like 6 or 7 songs.
Is there a Bandcamp, or is it a place I can find it? Because I'll link it also on scotchandgoodconversation.com.
Yeah, so Pack, there's an Instagram page, a Facebook page, a Bandcamp, our Spotify, everything, all the normal
I'll link
stuff.
it. Check it out for sure.
Okay, thank you.
And the third thing I know about you, and I guess we'll keep it music related, and you alluded to this, you're not just everything aggressive, heavy music.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of Jeff Lynne /ELO.
Oh, love him.
I know, right?
Love.
Everything he touches sounds like Jeff Lynne, but in a great. He made Roy Orbison sound like Jeff Lynne. Under normal circumstances, you would go, don't do that. Let Roy Orbison sound like Roy Orbison. But, Traveling Wilburys, there are no bad ELO records, and you got to see them live in the end of pretty good show. I mean, I'm assuming you saw 1 or 2 more shows before all the shit went down, but pretty good show to kind of end it. What is it good live? Does it hold up? Is it just him, or are there other children from ELO?
So basically, it's just Jeff Lynne. And I know like he even gets some slack because he re-recorded some ELO stuff, just because he has the ability to do that.
Yeah, because he's like Jeff Lynne,
one of the better producers ever. Yeah. But no, it was, I guess what it is Jeff Lynne, and he has this like band, what do you call it? Like this band leader that was able to get all, like everything that you would want to hear. Cause Jeff Lynne did tour a little bit without like a huge band. Like he would have like a drummer, and like, it wasn't like this big thing. Like I saw that he was doing a couple smaller shows like years and years ago. And then they started putting this thing together that went into stadiums. So, it was incredible. And I don't know, like the bummer from like, I know what live performances are like. It sounded pretty damn live, but I do get scared because so many people use tracks. I don't think they had any tracks. It sounded awesome. And yes, I love actually Roy Orbison too. I love all that stuff. There's like a Jeff Lynne sheen that gets on all of his recordings. Absolutely. It's really hard to explain if you listen to like the Beatles songs that he did, like the last 2 that he produced, the Roy Orbison record that he did, the Traveling Wilburys records, they all have this really awesome like crystal sound to them. I love it.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan. I mean, I was born in 1967, so when Out of the Blue came out, my brother had it on 8-track, and we'd ride around in the car. And The Diary of Horace Wimp and Mr. Blue Skies are 2 of probably my all-time favorite cheery, just pop nuggets, of pop goodness. I also know
I love it.
You're a big fan of Dave Bazan, and you got to see him in a house show last year. 2019. Curse Your Branches might be the perfect record. He's a genius. He's on my bucket list, of people I'd like to talk to, but I probably would be way too scared because he's like up here smart, lyrically and musically, and
but dude, he's so down to earth. He's such a good dude.
Have you met him?
So we like in the circles of like Zayo and all the world that we've lived in, David Bazan's first I don't know if it was his first thing, but like Page of the Lion kind of came out prior to him doing his solo records. And Page of the Lion was put out on the same label that Zayo started out on. So we used to play this festival that Page of the Lion played, and then I've seen I've seen Bazan.
I know some of the Cornerstone kids
too.
a little bit.
Yeah. So like, and our other guitar player Russ is a huge Bazan fan. And I mean, he's like, he knows who Zayo is. I don't necessarily think he really listens to that kind of stuff, but in the circles, he knew who we are. And he was unbelievably cool. Like such a nice guy.
Cornerstone.
So I think you'd have
Cornerstone was a thing like that. That was,
yeah.
I'm friends with some of the dudes from, I don't know if you know Squad 50.
Oh yeah, I know. Yep.
I'm friends with Jeff and John. And
oh, okay.
Do you know the Fortsons? They're good dudes. Yeah. One of my, one of my, I think like show 7 of Scotch and Good Conversation. It was with John. John's a buddy. And
that's amazing.
They got a record coming out. Hopefully, knock on wood, this year. Because I talked to Jeff, his twin brother, about it last year sometime, and hopefully I'll get them both in here because they're literal twins and they can finish each other's sentences and they sound like each other.
Awesome.
And so that's something to look forward to, a new Squad 50 record. Top 3 things. Don't overthink this. Top 3 bands, singer-songwriters, or musical performers in your world as you sit there right now. No pressure. Go.
Wise Blood.
Okay.
What else am I listening to? A band called Yob. And another band, Neurosis.
I know the last one, Yob, Y-A-B. Is that how you spell Yob? I wouldn't even begin to know how to spell Yob.
It's Y-O-B.
Is there like an umlauten or anything? Is there like a
no?
Okay,
But what the coolest thing is a yob is like a British term for an asshole.
Okay, good. It's like the Pogues. Yeah, I like it. All right. And what was the first one?
Well, I think her name's Natalie, but she goes under the moniker Wise Blood.
Okay.
She sounds sort of like if Linda Ronstadt was like more rock. Like you got it.
I'll definitely check it out. Yeah. All right. Thing number 2. What's one thing that you endorse? It could be a local restaurant or a guitar manufacturer, or ideally something small, something independent, and they will get a free plug, a commercial, if you will, on my wildly popular, very influential podcast. This is worth thousands of dollars to them.
Well, you know what? I have 2 pedal companies. I'm going to have to just do it 2. I'm sorry, but I have 2 pedal companies that are like pretty much owned by one person each, and they have been unbelievably cool. And out of everything, like, because I do have an endorsements through some bigger like guitar manufacturing companies, but these guys are like they don't need my
Gibson does it or whatever does. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Yeah, but
so I have a pedal company called Abominable Electronics, and the other one is 12th Hour Devices. Both of those companies, I'm like super, super close with the people that run them. Patrick is Abominable and Jonathan does the 12th Hour Devices, and they make awesome stuff. They make stuff that doesn't ever break, and it is the best sounding pedals that I've used.
How many pedals do you use? You got like a big, one of those big Rush looking pedal boards or
I wish.
Yeah. How many pedals does it take to make all that noise?
Honestly, like just for like the main one, like 1 pedal is all I need, but I do
less is more.
Yeah. But I have like maybe like 6, like I have like a delay and a reverb and a chorus, a tremolo, and an overdrive is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then tuner.
Last of these things, give me, your new friend Peter in Orlando, one valuable life tip to improve the quality of my life.
Wow. Live in the now.
Working on it. I am.
I know it's so hard.
It's so hard to do. In this last year, you know, if you did it correctly, you were forced to spend a lot of time at home. And living in the now at home when you've seen the same 4 walls for the last 2 or 3 months can get trying at best. And I talk about it. I meditate, and
that's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nothing's helped me more than living in the now and enjoying the moment and being very, very present for the moment. You were assigned a task to ask me a question. Now's your chance to ask me anything. I am an open book. Hit me. You can't make me squirm.
actually, it's probably going to be a super easy question, but I saw your dog, and dogs are like maybe my favorite thing outside of guitars. Mm-hmm. So why did you name your dog Rosie?
I think this has been covered, but it's been a while. I wanted to name her Blumpkin. Do you know what a Blumpkin is?
Yeah, I do, actually.
I wanted to name her Blumpkin. And if you don't know what a Blumpkin is and you're listening to this, Google it. Don't look at pictures, but Google it. It's funny. She's a German Shepherd. It sounds German, Blumpkin. And also, I thought it'd be funny, like if we're at the park and people are, in my head, Rosie would be able to be the dog you could walk up and pat and not try to bite you and anything. So people would be like, oh, what a beautiful dog. What's its name? Blumpkin. It's like the best practical joke that only I get to enjoy.
Yeah.
So we were going to call her Blumpkin, and about a day later, Blumpy, you could go with nicknames. Like if it was around somebody, about a day or two later, my wife on social media announced that her name was Betty. And I'm like, no. And she, well, we can put bandanas on her. I was like, no, we're not bandana dog people. We're not those people. We want awkward dogs like us. Messed up. It's like, just, we want to make everything complicated for everybody. And I was like, we can't do Betty. I can't call her Betty. And a buddy of mine, a super talented singer-songwriter, who unfortunately is no longer with us. His name is Richard Churfy.
Okay.
And Richard's first record, he had a band called Richard Churfy and All God's Children, and you should check it out. It's amazing.
I'm going to do that.
One of my favorite tracks on the record is a track called Rosaline. And little did I know that it was his least favorite track on the record. And I always wondered why he never played it when we'd see him live. But I had a grandmother who I really didn't get along with, but she was my grandmother. Her name was Rose. I think it's a beautiful, almost... Slim Whitman.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like a Slim Whitman type of vibe to the song. And I wanted to name her Rosaline, but we decided on Rosie. But I told her, my wife, that I'm going to call her Blumpkin Rose because I just think it sounds pretty. So occasionally I'll get Blumpkin, like I'll get to call her Blumpkin. Her name is Blumpkin Rose von Taborski, but Rosie.
I love it.
For short.
Wow.
Very long answer.
That's the greatest. It's so good.
Yeah. I at some point I will have a dog named Blumpkin if I have my way about it. I mean, my wife might divorce me. I'm going to ask you some questions. And I wrote,
do it.
Very rarely do I write questions for these. I steal them off the internet, or I have my research team grab them for me. And I wrote this. I was thinking while I was listening to your record yesterday. Good record. Go out and buy it. There'll be links in the show notes. I was thinking about like what people will do for money, and I started thinking about that show Fear Factor with that asshat Joe Rogan. I only call him an asshat because he's a wildly successful podcaster. And
he's kind of an asshat.
Yeah, his politics are a bit messed up lately.
Yeah, they're a little weird.
Yeah, he gets to talk to cool people though. Anyway, and I started thinking about like Fear Factor, and I would never do any of that. But you've toured all over the place, and you've probably done some crazy things. So I was wondering what you would do if there was a Fear Factor Scotch and Good Conversation type show. And the prize is $648,000. Okay.
Oh man.
So it's like a really random amount of money. It's not like 650, but it's more than 500,000. It's less than $1 million, so you can't retire on it. And here are the things, and you can tell me if you do these things for $648,000. And some you might have already done. I don't know. You're a rock star. I'm sure you've done some crazy stuff. First one, I haven't done this, and I'd probably do it for $648,000, but it scares the hell out of me. Bungee jump. Would you bungee jump for $648,000? Under safe conditions. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Second thing, and I've done this, and you can see the pictures on my Patreon, patreon.com/scotchandgoodconversation. See what I just did there? Would you do a naked photo shoot? There are naked pictures of me on Scotch and Good Patreon. Would you do it? Have you ever posed naked for cameras?
No.
It's harder than it sounds. This one I made up like last night while I was drinking beer. Would you receive 500 little teeny weeny paper cuts over the course of 1 year, administered and taken care of by a doctor. 500 paper cuts over the course of 1 year for $648,000. I don't think I'd do that one, because think about, like, you start to get, because they're going to get, and even if the doctor's taking care of it, you're going to be like hurting and yeah. Okay.
But I cut myself all the time.
I imagine. Yeah.
I think
I don't, paper cuts are, I worked at Kinko's for 10 years. At any given time, I would have Band-Aids all over my hands, because just by the nature of Kinko's. Would you, I don't know if you have, skydive, but do it naked?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So have you skydived? Skydoved? So I don't know. No. Is the past tense of dive doved? I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I haven't done it, but I would do it. Absolutely.
This one's controversial. Russian roulette naked. I just thought it was funny to put naked at the end of that.
Russian roulette naked. See, that one would be, the naked part would be the easiest.
Yeah, one time, just deer hunter style. One time, just one game of Russian roulette. Boom, $648,000.
I mean, you might not get to spend that $648,000, but somebody would. Ah, man, that would be a rough one. I think I'd do it, though.
Oh, don't do it. I like you. You're my new friend. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Yeah. I need you in my world.
I don't know that. See, that's the funny thing is like where I live.
Yeah.
You don't retire on $648,000, but
yeah,
if I invest it correctly, like I do.
Yeah.
Because Pennsylvania is pretty reasonably cheap. I think I'd have to do it.
I don't think I can buy a halfway decent house here for $648,000. Okay, this one I wrote. I know you're a music fan. Would you go into a room with your favorite artist and seriously convince them that you hate their music?
Oh. Okay. Caveat to the question. Would I have to, the rest of my life, maintain that I hate
it? They think, they leave and they think you hate their band or their music, whatever.
You know what? I'm doing it, because here's the thing. I can love their band. Because do you know how many people I've met that I hate them? I might actually hate the person I love. Like I might meet this person that I'm in love. Like, who knows? Like Jeff Lynne. Maybe I meet Jeff Lynne and he's like an asshole. I don't think that's true, but like, he seems pretty cool. Yeah. But like, maybe then I do hate them, because like, I can't even listen to you now. I do it. Okay. I do it because in the scheme of things, I can still enjoy his music, and he doesn't have to know if I do or not.
I really thought you would. I got you on that one. 1 year in prison. With a full prison experience. It might not, you might join a gang and make it through. You might shank a guy, but what's your hat?
Oh, it's Hilton Head.
Oh, Hilton. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought that was. I mean, you do a full prison experience, but you get out after a year.
Oh, man. Oof. I do get out.
Yeah, you get out. Yeah, you get out. Like, even if you shank a guy, you make a shank out of a toothbrush, and you just go, you stab him in the neck, and you wind up in solitary, for a year. But you get out. They're like years up. Yeah.
Man, you know what? That's a weird one, because like, as you understand, like,
because I've been to prison. Like, yeah.
Well, no. I mean, like, a year taken away from you at my age now.
I could go at any time. Yeah.
Oh, that one's a tough one. I mean, I think I might have to say no on that one.
Okay, that's your first no. I think that was your first no.
That might be the no.
This one might be fun, or it might be terrible. 1 year traveling as a carnival worker. You're a carny for a year. You get to travel, but you're traveling with carnies.
I would, for that kind of money, I'd do it.
I'd build a tilt-a-wheel. We got 2 or 3 more. You have 2 toes off your right foot. You get to choose which toes surgically removed by a professional doctor.
All for it. I'm in.
Okay, 2 toes. All right, those pedals might not work as well as you remember. No social media, music, or television for 1 year.
Wow, no social media, music, or television. Okay, so another caveat to this. Since I am a musician, is the ability to play, that's gone.
Yeah.
I got to say no to that one.
Okay, good. That's the right answer for you. Last one. You get to pick which of your senses, but you lose. So you have to pick which one, hearing, vision. You lose 75% of that sense for the rest of your life.
Okay. So this is going to be a weird one, but I think I would do it as long as I can pick it, because I would probably just lose my sense of taste.
Okay. Oh, I see. I wouldn't. My wife went with a sense of smell, because she said, if I smells, does it affect? Because they're all tied together. And I said, no. In this scenario, you don't. I could lose smell if I could taste something, but I think that might be the right answer. Question number 2.
Actually,
for you.
Smell is good, but I would have assumed, because you lose smell, you can't taste. But go ahead.
You probably tour in a van a lot too. I mean, I don't know if you're in a bus at this point, even in a bus. But I've been in some tour buses and some vans, and it gets stinky in there. Even the cleanest.
All bad.
They're all funky. Question number 2 for you. As a kid, what was your I can't leave the house item? Sub question: as an adult, what's your I can't leave the house item? Leave the house without this item.
Wow. Okay, as a kid and as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So as an adult, I can't leave the house without my hat, because
what you got going on there? Is there
nothing good?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you can shave it. You can shave it, man. It's pretty freeing. Shaving it up is.
Eventually, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you got to. I think you could pull it off. I think you got a good head. You got it. I think you'll be all right. Yeah, you don't know.
Right. I'm still like hesitant about that, but
you had a year. You had a year. You could have just shaved it, and
I could have.
Yeah.
Came out and be like, "Hey guys, it's all good."
So the hat.
The hat for now. And then when I was a kid, I probably wouldn't leave my house without, man, what did I have when I was a kid? I had my, the Walkman, tape player, and the Walkman CD player when I was a teen. Probably the Walkman. I guess, that would make sense. The right answer. Yeah, the Walkman works. Yep.
All right, question number 3 for you. We're going to talk first kisses here.
Oh.
Your first kiss, how old were you?
10.
10? Oh, good for you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does it have to be, it doesn't have to be like,
no.
Just like, oh my God, it's like a girl.
Yeah. I'm sorry I did that. I apologize for the tongue.
No, that's okay. Well, I needed to know what that meant. I'm glad that I got
just it could be full on like making out. I don't know if the kids say that anymore, or just, I like you. That thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 10, good for you. I was
10,
I was 16. No, I think I might have been 15.
Damn.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer. I lost my virginity at 21. That's what a geek I am. I was walking around with a teddy bear at 16. Come on.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's terrible.
I mean, people, for guys, they make it like so bad, but like, come on, like it's better because like. No,
I know. I was innocent.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah. You were slutting around at 10. Who did you kiss? I mean, you don't have to say it if you don't want to. But
shit, man. I know it was a. What was her? I can't even remember.
Oh, someplace, maybe somebody's screaming. Mine was a girl named Gretchen.
I think it was a girl named Krista. It was a girl named Krista.
Yeah.
But I don't remember her last name.
So the next question is, do you know what Chris is up to these days?
I have absolutely no idea, and I don't want to know.
You don't even know her last name? Yeah, I don't know Gretchen's last name. I used to have letters. We used to write back and forth because she lived in a different part of the state, and we were going steady.
Wow.
And it like literally, I kissed her like 3 times at a church function. I'm a geek. I keep telling you. And
dude, we're all geeks.
Yeah. No, everyone's got geek in it. I just have a podcast where I talk about it a lot. What led to the kiss?
If I remember correctly, she lived around me and my brother had the same friends because of that age bracket, and I was older. Oh. And we went to pool parties, and she lived near them. So she was at the pool parties. And I think we all like where I lived was kind of like wooded area. So we like all would go in the woods and mess around. But I think I kissed her in the woods.
Oh,
and then we were like, we're going to date. We're going to be together because you're 10 and have no idea. And then like in a week or two, it didn't matter.
And the next question is, how long did it last? Or was it just a peck or so like a week or two?
It was probably, it was a peck because she only wanted me to kiss her hand. Oh. And I'm like, that's like, what was the point of that?
Yeah. So you talked her into it, or was it?
I talked her into a kiss, but it was only allowed to. It was only allowed to be a lip.
Just a peck thing. All right. Yeah. Oh, you're a good boy. Good. Hey kids, here's a commercial. You need a beer. Red Light's got you covered. They are open for business. Award-winning in-house brews, 300 bottles and cans. Cool, comfortable surroundings, inside and outside seating. Food trucks, they got you covered. Red Light is located in the Audubon Park Garden District at 2810 Curine Drive. Go by today. Red Light Beer Parlor. Have you been injured on the go? Remember, just call Mo. JustCallMo.com. You got a business? Are you looking for an affordable, effective way to get word out about it? You're listening to this podcast, and so are a lot of other people. Why not advertise with Scotch and Good Conversation? With 5 years in the podcast game, Scotch and Good Conversation has a dedicated listenership, both locally, nationally, and internationally. Give us a call, 407-446-4955, or email us over at scotchandgoodconversation@gmail.com and let the world know about your business. We are back. This part of the show is brought to you by the Nook on Robinson. They are a local, independently owned watering hole. Here's why the Nook on Robinson is amazing. First of all, they're independently owned, and they feature only Florida breweries. So if you're coming to town and you're looking to taste a lot of Florida beer, and Florida's got amazing breweries. Everybody's got amazing breweries now, but Florida's, man, I travel a little bit, and we really hit it out of the home with craft beer. They feature only Florida breweries, but under normal circumstances, I think they're getting back to it. They have bands in and out. They have artists in and out. It's a constant work of art flowing through the Nook on Robinson, be it the food trucks outside, or the events they got going on, or the bands that they book when they're able to book bands. I don't think they've done it yet, but I think they're kind of thinking about it now. I know, like this weekend and a month before, they do this thing outside. They put up a screen and I think it's called Trash Movie Night. And I went to one a month ago where they played Cool as Ice by Vanilla Ice. Man, which is a trash movie. It's a garbage film.
That's great.
But you get some beers, and they got chairs outside, and you get to sit outside and watch a terrible garbage film, and everybody laughs, and it's hysterical. I was in North Carolina this weekend. Have you ever seen the movie The Room? Are you familiar with The Room? Yes. They showed They showed the original version of The Room, and that's the kind of things they do. They do events, and they're all fun and different. And it's this great hip little section of town of Orlando called the Milk District. So it's close enough to downtown. Like if you got something to do downtown, it's close enough, but there's great restaurants in the Milk District. There's some great bars. There's always parking. It's where locals hang out. The Nook on Robinson is amazing. And here's what I need you to do. If you're going in for the first time, or you've been a long time fan of the Nook on Robinson, do me a favor, tell the people behind the counter that you heard about them, or you're here because of Scotch and Good Conversation. This way they know that they're spending their money with me effectively, and it works for me and it works for them, and they might give you a discount or a koozie or something. Maybe not. I don't know. They're located at 2432 East Robinson Street in the Milk District. This is a voicemail. And if you want to leave a voicemail, leave the message over at 407-446-4955. Make it short, make it simple, be interesting. And it doesn't have to be a question for whoever I'm talking to. If you got a life problem, or you got a bone to pick with me, if you just want to tell me my podcast sucks, odds are, if it's interesting, I will play it on the show. So plug that in. If you're traveling around, you just feel like talking to somebody, 407-446-4955. This came in specifically for you, young man. This is a voicemail.
Hey, Scott. My name's Alex. I'm actually Peter's wife, cousin. Huge fan of you all. Been a fan for 15 to 20 years or so. My friend showed you Blood and Fire back in like 2005, 2006. Been hooked ever since. So just want to thank you for the music over the years. And it was wild because I never got to see you guys until way later. So it was like 15 years later or so. So I saw you all in 2017. I grew up and lived in Kentucky at the time. Saw you at a strip club in Louisville. I forget the name of that place, but that show was awesome. I remember you and I talking for like 30 minutes. I'll say you were like one of the most down-to-earth, humble, nicest people I've ever met in music for the years. Your band really got me through a lot of hard times in my life. So I just want to say thanks. And as far as questions are concerned, I was like going back through all your old catalog, Blood and Fire, and the records after that. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm hearing some bit of Godflesh influence in here. So I wanted to ask, like, did you all, like Dan or you or anyone else in the band at the time have an interest in Godflesh? Did you like that band? Were they an influence on Zayo? And if so, or if not, what's your favorite Godflesh record and favorite song? Just curious. Take it easy. I'm living up in Portland, Maine. Please come up here and play. And I guess that's my other question too. Has Zayo ever played in Maine or Portland before? Because if not, you all should come up here at some point in time. All right. Thanks, man. Hope all is well. Take it easy. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Wow. So Godflesh I know of Godflesh, and I actually enjoy Godflesh, but I don't know them enough that we've been necessarily influenced by them.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I definitely enjoy Godflesh. And what was the one? There's one of their records, something Steam Cleaner. I'm terrible with names. It was like, I think it was something like Steam something.
Yeah.
But I remember listening to it when I was in high school. And because Godflesh was on Earache, I think, at one time. And Earache was like a big label that I listened to everything on there. But I can say this. I do know that like Jeff, our drummer, him and his when he was prior to like being in Zayo, his friend Adam that he played guitar or drums with for years and years and years, those guys love Godflesh.
Okay.
And I'm a fan. I definitely am a fan, but not necessarily influenced. But
Alex recently moved to Portland, Maine. Not the Portland, Maine on the opposite coast, not Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Portland,
yeah,
Maine.
not Oregon.
And
yeah.
he loves it there, and it looks delightful and beautiful. And have you played Portland? Have you played Maine? And specifically played Portland? And he says you should come if you haven't.
I know we have played in Maine. I don't know if it was Portland, but I know we've been through Portland, Maine a few times because of doing the Canada run and then coming down that way.
Yeah.
No, I've actually kind of wanted to get up there because there's a band that all of us are fans of called Today Is the Day. And I think that their singer, Steve, like the main guy in Today Is the Day, lives in Portland, Maine now, or he lives in that area. And it's like, he basically like survivalist kind of does it up there because you can do it. He literally like, they have like a well water. They do like heating with their like wood for like, it's crazy. But he said the same thing, like how it's just, you feel one with like the earth up there because it's pretty awesome.
I think Alex found his forever home. I know
that's awesome.
He's dating a very nice young lady, and he's huge music guy. He's probably, Dee Dee's 10 years younger than me, so he's probably 15, 20 years younger than me, but he can talk.
Okay.
He could talk to you about music and the music like in the same kind of genre as your band, or he can talk to me about music I know, but he also plays classical piano, and he's super smart, and he's a vegan, and he's Alex
awesome.
is just a wealth of information on a lot of things. Also, he texted me and he said the lead singer of your band apparently is a craft beer dude, and he references a lot of the breweries from Maine.
Oh yeah, we're like all of us are way into it. We actually have had 2 breweries do specific Zao
I know
beers.
Against the Grain in Louisville
Yep.
did
Yep.
What was the other brewery?
It's called, oh man, I'm gonna just murder Speciality, I think.
Yeah.
It's actually in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
It's a really cool name, but I can't pronounce
Yeah.
it.
I'll look it up. Yeah.
But yeah, we did a beer with them. It was like a sour that was just, so delicious. And it was called Croatoan after one of the songs on the new record.
Uh-huh.
And, but yeah, the Against the Grain one was I think the one from Speciality, if I say that right, was aged in a gin barrel. And the one from Against the Grain, we aged it in a bourbon barrel.
Cool. Yeah, because Kentucky, that sounds about right. Yeah. I haven't I haven't heard of the other brewery, but when we go to Louisville, because his family is there.
Okay.
We usually go down to Against the Grain. They're actually distributing now. I can pick up some of their beer here in Florida. Maybe if I'm not feeling lazy, I'll put links in the show notes. Thank you so much for calling, Alex. You are a delight and a treat. And if you guys want to leave a voicemail, 407-446-4955, or if you're like shy and don't want to have your voice on the podcast, email me over at scotchandgoodconversation@gmail.com. If it doesn't suck up, we'll use it on the show. Here is another commercial. Use this product. La Femme du Fromage is Orlando's cheese shop. Lunch, dinner, snack, something for a recipe. Their helpful staff is there to take care of you. Located in the East End Market in beautiful Audubon Park Garden District, La Femme du Fromage is locally owned and wants to take you on a journey of cheese. Give them a call, find out what's going on, give them a follow on social media, and tell them you heard about them on Scotch and Good Conversation. Have you been injured on the go? Remember, just call Mo. JustCallMo.com. Looking to take your business to the next level? Think about advertising. You're listening to this podcast, and so are a lot of other people. Scotch Good Conversation has 5 years in the podcast business with lots and lots of dedicated listeners who will use your product. Give us a call, 407-446-4955, or email us over at scotchandgoodconversation@gmail.com. Welcome back to Scotch and Good Conversation. Do me a favor. Go over to scotchandgoodconversation.com and look around there. If you like this interview, odds are I've talked to somebody else that you would love to hear from. And then subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. And if you like the podcast, leave a review. If you don't like it, don't leave a review. Don't tell anybody. This part of the show is brought to you by Compass Box Whiskey. They make scotch. They make amazing scotch. They're in the world of scotch. They're not necessarily the biggest distiller, but I've drank some scotch, and they are my favorite. And what they do really well. They do blends. And a lot of people are like, I only drink single barrel, get that out of your head. Compass Box is redefining scotch. They're blending with the most amazing scotches, and they're aging in interesting woods, and they're kind of breaking the rules and the traditions of a liquor that has so many traditions, so many rules, and they're going, nope, we're changing it. It's time for change, and they do it really well. Compass Box Whiskey, go into your local independent liquor store and grab yourself a bottle. If they don't have it, make them get it. Also brought to you by your button guy. He makes pins, those little buttons, and you put them on your sweater, your backpack, your guitar strap. He makes them for my podcast. He makes them for a lot of local podcasts and businesses. There are 2 ways to get a hold of him, only 2. He doesn't have a phone number. He doesn't have a website. He has Instagram Messenger and Facebook Messenger, and that's how you get a hold of him. His prices are fair. His turnaround time is great. His product is amazing. He's got a great beard. He's got beautiful eyes. My button guy is your button guy. He should be your button guy also. Question number 5. This is short and sweet. In an army of rodeo clowns, let's call them 100 rodeo clowns, goes to battle against an army of sports mascots. Who's winning?
Rodeo clowns.
I think so. I think that's right. They're tough motherfuckers. They really.
Yeah, they are. I would not mess with a damn rodeo clown.
Yeah, and also I think like the mascots would have the disadvantage of like being in a furry costume or like weird visions. Rodeo clowns can move, and they're agile and they can take a punch.
And if they're carnies, like we know before, if they're carnies, they do not fuck around.
And they can't feel anything because they're on crystal meth.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Sure. I just want to say, in case there's any rodeo clowns listening, you'll get emails. You're not all on crystal meth. Just most of you. I got to thinking about the movie Gremlins. I'm assuming you've seen the movie Gremlins?
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay, good. I thought I was taking a chance on this one. My wife was like, what if he hasn't seen Gremlins? I was like, everyone's seen Gremlins. Okay. So when you're out touring again and you get a day off and you're traveling and find yourself in a section of town that's, kind of weird, and you go down an alley and all of a sudden it's dark and rainy and you go down into a set of stairs below a shop and you find yourself in the shop where the father who bought the gremlin, what's his name, Gizmo, acquired his first Magwai.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He go in that shop, as an Asian guy with it's over the top 80s Asian. The Fu Manchu. I think that's what I didn't name it that. Someone else did.
Yeah.
So you go in there and there's all these wonders around and he won't let you leave without something that he says is magical. And he will not let you leave without it. So you leave and you find out that it's a bottle of the tears of 1,000 orphans. You have a bottle of the tears of 1,000 orphans. He says it's magical, but he won't tell you what it does. What do you do with this bottle? I kind of wrote this one also.
That's the most intricately amazing thing I've ever been asked.
The tears of 1,000 orphans. By the way, if you want to write a song for the band called The Tears of 1,000 Orphans,
we'll give you credit and we'll pay you.
You don't have to pay me. I stole The Tears of 1,000 Orphans. We'll get you. Yeah, just put my link in the show notes. That's in the album liner notes.
Man,
what are you doing with the bottle?
Okay, so
it's magical.
Jeez, but we don't know what the magic.
You don't know what it is. That's the caveat of this.
So, and it's a whole bottle. So I have a lot of things I can do to see what the magic is.
Yes,
I think the first thing I do, the safest thing I can think to do with anything liquid would be maybe water a plant with it.
Nice, good call. Yeah.
That way I can see, okay, if it's magical, if it doesn't do anything to the plant, then I know that like it won't I don't know, but I can watch what it does to the plant. But okay, so if it's magical though, it's probably not going to do harm to you.
I absolutely love how seriously you're taking this incredibly stupid question.
Yeah. First thing I do is water a plant.
Okay, good.
If the plant stays cool, the next thing I do would maybe use it to not to wash off part of my hand so I don't waste too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it would be touching skin and be part of me. Then I would know what it's doing to me.
Well, you went from plant to ingesting this somehow really quickly.
Because I want to ingest it. I think the plan is I do want to drink this stuff because I want to know what it'll do for me.
Yeah.
But I have to do it in small increments because you gotta be careful.
You're a terrible scientist. You went from test case to yourself
to death.
to maybe flying or being invisible in one fatal swoop. There are no wrong answers. I don't know. I would be too scared to open the damn bottle. So thank you for taking that.
I know if you open it, what happens?
That's just it. Second to last question. You're invited to a dinner party when we're all comfortable enough to go to dinner parties at each other's house. Have you done that? We had people over for dinner.
Yeah,
recently.
we have. Yeah.
It's odd, right? Doesn't it feel weird? It's off.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
It feels weird to see people's full face.
You don't know whether you're supposed to meet them at the door with a mask on. You don't. So we just drank a lot.
Are we still?
Yeah.
Are we just elbow bumping?
Like, I'm a fist bumper. Like that's my thing good. From now on. Like and I imagine you get a lot.
I'll never shake a hand again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I met someone recently, and he's a little older than I am, and probably more conservative. And I was like, hey, man, it's really nice to see you. I haven't seen him in a little while. And he went to shake my hand, and I fist bumped him. And he looked at me and went, so we're doing that now.
Oh, my God.
And I went.
But are you surprised?
I went, and I love the dude. And I went, yes, I am. Yeah. And I said, before all the beginning of this, I wasn't wild about the weird tradition of shaking hands anyway. Me neither. I'll hug you, but I'm not shaking your hands. I don't know if you're a bad wiper. I don't know if you've had your finger up your nose. So like you might got poo-poo on your fingernails. And I'm pretty clean. I'm a clean guy. I might be bordering on too clean, like neurotic clean. But I might have a boogie under my nails every now and then. Like I don't know, and I don't want to. It's a respect thing. We can fist bump, and I pass it around. You guys fist bump each other. Let's
do it.
I think I read someplace that just shaking a hand started with like in Battlefield, showing that I don't have a weapon in my hands. Like I think
that makes sense. Okay.
And I'd like to think in these times, if you have a weapon in your hands, you're not just going to walk out to me and go, hey, I've got a battle axe in my, and you're going to be hiding it. So let's just go with fist bumping. I don't remember why we came up with me going on my diatribe about fist bumping. I apologize. Dinner party. You go to a dinner party. I frequently get, I can't believe I made it through that whole 1,000 orphan tear thing without getting sidetracked. So you excuse yourself in a dinner party. Everything's going smoothly. Got a couple glasses of wine in you, and the food is delicious. You excuse yourself to go take a poo-poo. And you find out that this family only uses reusable toilet paper. Only. And that's a thing. Are you using the toilet paper? Do you say something when you get back out on the dining table? Are there questions, or do you just hold it in and I'm assuming as a touring musician, you pooped in a lot of interesting places and disgusting places and maybe some super nice hotels, but are you using reusable toilet paper? It looks clean, by the way.
I'm already like weird with the toilet paper because I kind of tend to work on the theory that all you're doing is just wiping your shit around. Mm-hmm. I use wipes because then you're actually cleaning the shit off.
That's the right answer.
So reusable toilet paper, I guess I would be curious about the process of how this has been
vetted.
Like how it's like, okay, you got the toilet paper. So like, can we have some information on what is it called when you do that? Like aluminum cans. How the hell?
How is it recycled? How is it regenerating?
Yes. How do you recycle the toilet paper?
Yeah,
that would be my question. So I would assume.
Are you using it? Are you gonna wipe yourself on it?
I guess I'm gonna ask because they're not gonna have wipes there, and I'm gonna have to use it with the knowledge in here that I'm gonna you're
gonna be showering later.
Clean.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if I could. I've got specific rules about pooping. I could never be in a band because I can't poop on the. My house is about the only place I comfortably poop, and we do travel a lot. You might have an answer. Do you get vacation constipation when you go out and to work?
Yes.
Can you not poop for the first couple of days?
It's a total thing. Like every tour I've ever done, it happens. Every time I go on vacation, it happens, and it's literally I've done everything I can think of to not have it happen, and it's impossible. I don't know